NBA Top Shot. NBA Top Shot is the future of being an NBA fan. Own officially licensed greatest moments from NBA history. Sign up today at lockedon.nbatopshot.com. But today, we're going to get into the Bulls' loss against the New York Knicks, where me and Pat the designer, this is going to be a therapy session, bruh. Let's go ahead and get into it right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You have found yourself on Locked On Bulls. Thank you for making us your first listen of today, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, and all that. I'm glad we got all that out of the way. Pat, what they are who we thought they were, right?
Yep.
Chicago Bulls lost to the New York Knicks in a game in which you can't even just say that they didn't make adjustments. Billy Donovan did make some adjustments. The players played pretty well throughout, except Kobe shooting the ball like crap. But overall, this team got completely outworked. The offensive rebounding and Alex Burks killed us in this game. The Knicks converting, I think 13 offensive rebounds to over 20 points and 20 second chance points on top of Alex Burks killing us from 3-point range. Talk me off the ledge, Pat. Do you even have the ability to talk me off the?
I'm jumping right with you, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like this is the thing, right? I'm happy. Bulls are better.
Yeah,
Bulls are moving in the right direction. I'm happy. And I have the ability to look at the season as that. But this team has shown you that they're not mentally ready for this moment. This team has shown you that they're not mentally capable of being ready for this moment. And they've shown you pretty consistently that they're not mentally ready to be mentally ready for this moment. The last time we had a win versus Cleveland, we went out west. We got our heads kicked in by Sacramento the game after that. They didn't fight back. Got their heads kicked in the game after that. Didn't fight back. Played Phoenix. You already know that's a head kicking in.
Yeah.
This could be that spiral again, except versus much worse teams. And here's the thing. I'm not going to fall into the cycle of, oh, maybe they can. Maybe they could do this. They're not. They haven't shown you anything. They haven't shown you that the things that they say in these post-game shows, they're actually putting into place. I hear DeMar DeRozan say it's going to click for us. We just got to find it. We got to take that time. We got to go back to the film. I hear Billy Donovan talking about the film. Go back to the film. Check this out. I'm watching the game. Y'all playing the game. I'm just watching the game. Y'all are playing the game. I can tell you what's wrong without looking at the film. Stop leaving Alec Burks open in the corner. Oh, but wait. That's what y'all did with Korkmaz. Oh, that's what y'all did with Devontae Graham. Oh, that's what y'all did with, I don't even know who the heck y'all did it with freaking Sacramento. Oh, what's buddy name? Little young dude. Mitchell. Davion Mitchell. Oh, that's what y'all did with Davion Mitchell.
And then don't forget what Valdez, was that his name over with the Pelicans? The young bull who killed us in the Pelicans?
Jose something. Alvarado.
Alvarado. Yeah, Alvarado.
Hey, y'all did it so much with that, man.
He got a contract based off of
4-year deal. Y'all got him paid.
The Bulls are getting people paid. Like, Jesus, man.
You have to listen. Maya Angelou has the greatest quote of all time. When people tell you who they are, believe them. The Bulls have told you who they are. I believe. I believe that, and I'm sorry to say it, Bulls fans. I've been on here and we've been the rah-rah guys. We've been the guys that have been hyping this team up. There's nothing to hype up left. They are who we thought they were, and guess what? They're probably a first-round exit. I don't see this team beating Philly. I don't see this team beating. I mean, listen, if you get Cleveland, maybe. You get high enough to beat Cleveland, maybe. Get to a 2 seed.
But they're almost win games out of being able to,
you got to win games to get to a 2 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see this team. There's no team right now, first round, that I see this team having the ability to beat based on the fact that when they do win a game, they aren't able or capable to fight back the next game out and keep that same energy that it takes. And you went into Cleveland saying that we think we had to treat this like a playoff game. But you didn't go into Madison Square Garden treating this like a playoff game. I just went to Cleveland. I just got back from Cleveland. There's nothing about that place that says, I'm excited to be here. Let's treat this like a playoff game. You know what does have that? Madison Square Garden. Sad, dog. It's sad. But here's the thing. I'm not the jump off the ledge. I'm not the there's some people that were in my live over on the Windy City Breeze that were talking about, hey, listen, we need to get rid of DeMar. We should have never brought him here. We need to get rid of Billy Donovan. We should have never brought him here. They're stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's just a dumb take. But there are specific moments in this game that I can point to where guys like DeMar DeRozan absolutely put the Bulls out of contention. And while he cooked in the fourth quarter, the first 3 quarters, I mean, specifically, you have to get your team involved. You have to get these players involved. You came out in the from the end of the first half, walked onto the court 4 seconds off the shot clock, and you put up a jump shot and missed. And then on the other end, you got fouled in an and one. Guess what that does? That takes your team out of it. You started the thing off down what? What were we down? 4?
Yep.
And it quickly ballooned to 10, 11. You got to recognize the moment, bro. You got to recognize the moment. And the Bulls don't recognize the moment they're in. The Bulls don't recognize where they could be right now. And that's why we're sitting where we're at, possibly about to be a play-in team.
Play-in is looking more and more likely every game that goes by. And the thing in this game, right? Like I said before, Billy Donovan did make some adjustments to the pick and roll finally. And we did see that. And they had some success after they did that. But the one thing that bothered me in this game, Pat, is that we clearly were getting outworked on the offensive rebounding purely based off size. And in a game in which size was killing us, Kobe White, who couldn't hit anything, he could not throw a ball and hit the ocean right now. You didn't go to Tristan Thompson, 14 minutes. Patrick Williams, 14 minutes. Javonte Green, 14 minutes. Kobe White, 21 minutes. I understand having a player hoping that they can work themselves out of a shooting slump. But in a game where shooting wasn't your issue, it was the second chance points and the offensive rebounding that you were allowing. Why did Patrick Williams not get in the game? Why did Javonte Green, who has some energy at least, right, did not get in that game? These are the type of issues that caused the Bulls this game. It's not just on Billy Donovan. I know people are going to say, oh, Billy Donovan and adjustments. And that is an issue. In this game, it wasn't, though. It was, well, I guess in a way it was. Like, he didn't adjust to what he needed to do to the personnel he needed to play out there. He's been telling us Patrick Williams is on this 18 to 26-minute restriction. So why did Patrick Williams only play 14 minutes in a game where his size and athleticism were desperately needed, and he played pretty solid defense, didn't do nothing for us offensively, but really neither did Kobe White. At least then you have somebody out there with some size. Why didn't he play Kobe White down the stretch of this game?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I look at Patrick Williams. I mean, I guess you're trying to work him back in, but at a minimum, you needed to put somebody else in the game that could step up and play Javonte Green. Or play Emmanuel quickly, or could play RJ Barrett. Heck, the only time I saw somebody play well defensively on RJ Barrett was when P. Will was on the floor. So, like, I don't have an answer for it, dog. And here's the problem: the Bulls don't either. The Bulls don't either. The Bulls have no answers right now for what's happening on the floor. The Bulls have no answers right now for what's happening with Patrick Williams, for what's happening with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. They have no answers. They have no answers why this team is, and that's a problem. There's no answers why we can't close out defensively in the corner. There's no answers to why we can't figure out how a pick and roll works, how defense on a pick and roll works. You play back. Somebody need me to tell. Let me. Do we need to explain it real quick?
Go ahead, drop it on, brother. Drop it on.
When somebody set the screen, right, and you get hit by the screen, if you can't get over the screen, which you should try to fight over the screen, stop being a pansy. If you can't get over the screen, you drop back and you go with the roller, and you don't give them the inside position. You know what happens when you do give them the inside position? Exactly what keeps happening to y'all. That's how pick and roll works. I don't get it. Like, we're getting beat by high school concepts.
The basics of basketball is what's killing us right now. The basics of basketball.
What?
But we're going to get into more of that. And hopefully, unlike what Kanye said, hopefully we'll find some of the answers. But first, I got to talk to you guys about NBA Top Shot. NBA Top Shot is the officially licensed product by the NBA. Connect with passionate community of NBA fans across the globe and build your collection with your favorite moments from NBA history. NBA Top Shot is the future of what being an NBA fan looks like. It's part trading cards, part stock market, and part fantasy sports with a built-in loyalty program. NBA Top Shot has evolved trading cards and made it easier to buy, sell, and trade by removing the hassle of card grading, shoe boxes, binders. Their 24/7 peer-to-peer marketplace lets you scroll through all of your favorite players and teams once you find the moment you've been looking for. Now, I hear all the time, why would you buy something that I could watch on YouTube for free? And I tell people that it's not about watching the highlight. It's about having ownership in the stock market of the NBA's greatest moments. And owning the NBA Top Shot moments can get you access to unbuyable once-in-a-lifetime experiences. For example, Top Shot flew out a group of fans to Phoenix for Game 5 of the NBA Finals just for having Phoenix Suns moments in their collections. The following week, Top Shot flew a group of fans to New York for the NBA draft, and these collectors got to have dinner with future first-round picks the night before they were drafted and play basketball with the New York Knicks, Obi Toppin, who contributed to killing us tonight. If you sign up for NBA Top Shot today, the best way to start is getting yourself a starter pack. You can pull a moment for any superstar like LeBron or KD, or star rookies like Cade Cunningham or Evan Mobley. Head over to lockedon.nbatopshot.com to start building your collection today. Now, before we get into it, I got another one for you. We also have to talk about Truebill. Now, Truebill it protects you from all of those other subscriptions. I know I have a ton of subscriptions, and so it's really built around to hope basically that you forget what you're subscribed to. They renew your free trials without your consent. It's a business scam. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forget about. On average, people save about $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there to help you when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions. So don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now to truebill.com/lockedonnba. It could save you thousands a year. All right, now that we've done and taken care of the business aspect of it, you said they don't have the answers. Well, I gotta present this to you, Pat.
Let's do it.
What if the answer is firing Billy Donovan? Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think we'd be remiss if we at least didn't talk about offseason coming up. Not saying that the Bulls should go in necessarily looking for sure to move on for Billy Donovan, but if a perfect coach comes up, something happens, what percentage of it are you putting on it that you would be interested in moving on from Billy Donovan, depending on what happens the rest of the season?
I mean, who's the coach? You know what I'm saying? We're getting a very narrowed in viewpoint here. Like Billy Donovan's the worst coach to ever coach basketball. When we're talking about our team we're upset about our team being a 5th seed. I realize we were an 11th seed last year, right? Like, who's the coach? Like, I'm always okay with improving if there's no other option. I don't feel these same loyalties that the Reinsdorfs have felt to players and teams that have held them back for time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that time is now. I've watched, like, we can be upset by what's happening this season, but guess what? I've watched Billy Donovan coach a young team, and they absolutely improved. You want to know to what point? How good's that team now?
That's a good point. That is
How
a great
good's that
point.
OKC team now? Now, granted, you lose Chris Paul, that's a big loss. But how good's that team now?
Okay.
Look at the difference that Billy Donovan makes for a team. Look at the difference he's made for our team. Remember this last season? We really thought the Bulls might make the playoffs if Zach didn't catch COVID. Zach missed 2 weeks at the end of the season when we first got Vooch.
Yeah.
And we really thought that they might make the playoffs.
And they should have. They would have made the playoffs last year
if Zach didn't catch COVID. That's how big of a difference that adding Billy Donovan makes. I'm not saying that Billy Donovan is the best coach in the NBA. I'm not saying that Billy Donovan is the end-all, be-all. What I am saying is, for the point that you're at right now, Billy Donovan is the right coach for you to have.
He's the bridge coach. At worst, he's the bridge coach. At most, he could possibly do more than that. The Bulls need to improve this bench next. And I presented the question because at least I know over my stream we got so many people talking about Billy Donovan needing to be fired. And so, so with that said, like I said, Billy Donovan very well probably won't be the coach. That if this Bulls team does win a title, that's the coach when we win the title, and that's fine. But he definitely does deserve to get another season, hopefully with more health, hopefully with an improved bench, and see what he can do there. There's a lot going on with this team this season. And I still go back and think about the fact that at one point in this season, Billy Donovan had us top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense.
Yeah.
So
that's what people don't think about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they didn't have them top 5 here. They didn't have them. Yeah, right now. He also coached you to a first place position when literally no one was left. Like we were running out Matt Thomas on a regular basis, and everybody was like, "Why are you playing Matt Thomas?" Because there was nobody left. And here's the thing, right? I'm okay with pointing out Billy Donovan's flaws.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean he can't win. I want y'all to understand something. Frank Vogel has an NBA championship. There's a limit to how much coaching matters if you don't have the great players. Frank Vogel legitimately has an NBA championship, and I question whether he's a good head coach, let alone a great head coach.
Got you.
He just figured out 2 weeks ago, hey, maybe we should start the 7-foot dude and Dwight Howard that keeps getting rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I look at everything situationally, and I put a ton of it on the players. I've seen great players win with subpar coaching, and I don't think Billy Donovan's a subpar coach. I think he's a good coach. I wouldn't say he's great. He's a good coach. I wouldn't say he's great. But is he good enough if the players on the court do their job and execute the plays right? Like, really, what has Billy done that has hindered the players from doing what they should do? What has Billy done offensively that says DeMar DeRozan don't go out there and break a Wilt Chamberlain record? What has Billy done that says Zach LaVine don't go out there and be a 50, 40, 90 player? What has he done that says, I mean, maybe we could say Vooch. Maybe Vooch, how he's used Vooch. We can have some problem with that.
I mean, well, there's problems to be had with Billy Donovan. The offense is absolutely stagnated and gotten stale. But again, Billy Donovan is one of those coaches who, give him another offseason, he's going to create a whole new offense every year. But there are some things that Billy Donovan has faltered at. But like you said, he's not a perfect coach. He's not a great coach. He's a good coach. But with that being said, like, the lack of adjustments to what other teams do defensively. Like I said, in this game, you can't really point to that because he adjusted to the pick and roll. But he does some questionable things. His lineups sometimes are questionable too. But I think just like with the Vooch thing that people do with Vooch is that when you watch somebody every game, night in and night out, the things that they do start pitching you off a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And I'm not saying like that Billy is the end all be all, but what I am saying is I've seen a heck of a lot of players win championships with coaching that we was like, is that going to get it done? Let's be real. Mike Malone, not Mike Malone. Who's buddy in Milwaukee? Why can't I think of his name?
Shit.
Bud.
Yeah.
Bud,
Yeah.
whatever. Bud, Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah, there you go.
He was legitimately a week away from getting fired if the Milwaukee Bucks don't go on a championship run. Like, we remember that, right? Like, I've seen, like, there's coaches in this league that legitimately are bad coaches and they succeed because they have good players with them. Billy Donovan is not a bad head coach.
Yeah.
Do I think that Billy makes the perfect decision every single time out? No. Do I think that Billy has some flaws? Absolutely. Do I think I question his rotations sometimes because I'm like, hey man, like it's been 20 minutes. We need defense and none of the defenders are out there. But I don't look at Billy Donovan as a failure of a head coach. And I'll be honest with you, based on a lot of the guys that we could have got, based on a lot of the guys that have been here, y'all better thank y'all lucky stars that we have Billy Donovan. Who y'all want back? Y'all want Fred back? Y'all want Jim back? Or y'all want to go get Vinny? I know y'all don't want Tibbs back. Y'all watch what he keep doing every team he go to. I love Tibbs. I love the Bulls he gave us. But that was a special select group of teams. And guess what? He keep dragging them players everywhere he go. Mark Jackson. That's a great comment by Pan. And we're gonna get in the comments a little bit just here. Mark Jackson, great comment. Go listen to how the players talked about how he was gonna be using them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
get into that.
Draymond Green legitimately says he was gonna be out of the league.
Definitely. Let's take care of some business and then we can get into these comments.
Let's take care of the Bills, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I love this conversation, man. Hey, we want to let y'all know this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto, man. With the ever-increasing number in makes and models, it's now possible for your local chain auto parts store to stock. It's not possible. Run that back. It's now impossible for your local chain and auto parts stores to stock all the parts you need. Why endure often pointless and seamless intimidating questions? Is your Honda Odyssey an LX or an EX, bro? I swear I'll be ready to smack people on that. We'll switch that. And wait while the person is behind the counter, checking on the computer, choosing the only brand that their warehouse may carry. Listen. Here's the thing. You go over to Rock Auto, you're saving time and money. Why choose to spend 30, 50, even 100% more on some of these parts from a chain store or a car dealership when you can just go over to Rock Auto? For example, Honda Odyssey pump at a store could run you $353. From Rock Auto, $216, man. So Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years, and they always have reliably low prices for every customer. Here's what I need y'all to do, man. Go over to rockauto.com and see all the parts available for your car or truck, right? Locked on in their How Did You Hear About Us section so they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need at, give it a second to breathe, rockauto.com. Boom, 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 boom.
Mark Jackson was just mentioned as somebody. Listen, this if they would have brought in Mark Jackson after Jim Boylan play, everybody would have just left. Like everybody would have just walked away and left. They would have been like, you know what? We're not even going to talk a contract. Don't even worry about it. I'll give you some money back. We up out of here. I love Mark Jackson. He wasn't the right coach. Now, if you had Mark Jackson instead of Jim Boylan for a little stretch and then brought somebody else, and you can get behind. I can get behind that. But if you were talking about following up Jim Boylan with Mark Jackson, you might as well have just blown up the franchise. Like sell the franchise. Everybody got to go at that point.
This is the thing about Mark Jackson. I don't want to give unnecessary slander of the man. I don't really care about, the off the court stuff. I just look at what he did on the court. Mark Jackson wanted Steph Curry to be a traditional point. Mark Jackson wanted Draymond Green to be a spot up shooter. Mark Jackson wanted Klay Thompson. Actually, he wanted Klay Thompson to be what Klay Thompson is. So that was a good call. But like you literally could have changed two guys' careers. Draymond says he would have been out of the NBA in that situation. I just want Bulls fans to look at what we have and be realistic about the coaching situation that's in place. Remember 2 years ago, it was Jim Boylan. Remember 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever it was Fred Hoiberg, guys who we said, hey, Why doesn't your offense work? Why doesn't your defense work? Why are you getting beat by everyone? Why can't you compete on a consistent basis? Why can't you figure out how to like the things you're killing Billy Donovan for adjustment wise? Like they've worked for what, 43 wins? When is the last time we had 43 wins? I'm not saying that this season has gone perfect. I'm not saying that this season has gone exactly according to plan, but we absolutely have 43 wins, and we had 31 last year.
Yeah. Spice Bands in the chat says, for sure, Pat, I don't think anybody's saying Billy sucks. We're just saying he is part of the problem too.
No, there's some people in here saying Billy sucks.
Yeah, some people are. SB Talk says Billy is not the problem. Now that I don't agree with. Like SB Talk Sports, I don't agree that Billy's not the problem at all. He's definitely part of the problem. But he's part of the problem amongst a lot of problems right now that we've been discovered since the All-Star break.
Here's my thing, right? How much is on Billy? How much is on the players? How much is on the NBA? Because I'll say that there is a clear-cut difference in how the Bulls are being officiated before
for sure
the All-Star game and after the All-Star game. And we know that the refs get together on that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know if this is the platform to say it, but I have a conspiracy theory about the refs. Well, we'll reconvene on that one, but
but no, it's honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the NBA. Tim Donahue already said, like, we absolutely did these kind of things where we would come together and we would change based on how we saw things being called at a certain part of the season. I mean, if we're being real, the Bulls have been called completely different in the second half of the season. On top of that, their shooters haven't been shooting nearly as well. If we're going to blame somebody, let's blame the people that can actually change what's happening. You know what Billy Donovan can affect? Knocking down shots versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Wide open shots at that. Knocking down shots versus the Sacramento Kings. Wide open shots at that. Knocking down shots versus name whatever scrub team you want to name that's beaten us this year. Because I can go to every single one of those games and look at 4 to 5 shots per quarter that the Bulls haven't been able to knock down. You know what Billy Donovan doesn't change? Going 7 to 8 minutes without scoring. Because if he takes any one of the 4 scorers off of the floor, that's not going to help you.
Okay.
I give him his due. I'm glad we're here. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm glad the Bulls are here. I would rather see the Bulls here than not. I don't think people really remember what we've been through for 7 years.
Because a lot of them haven't been here that whole time too, though, Pat.
This is true. In mind. This is true. There's a lot of people that showed up when we started winning. This is very true. But it's one of those things where I just want to see this team continue to succeed. I think that Billy's going to get another shot. I think that the Bulls are going to get and here's the thing. If they don't come out in the next game or in the next season, because I don't know if this season is going to go any differently. If they don't come out in the next season with the change, then guess what? Yeah, move on from Billy. He's not the guy for you. But you can't tell me that in 2 seasons where your team has improved every season and we've visibly seen it, you're going to move on from that guy. If y'all want to do that, hey, y'all go root for whoever Jim Boylan's coaching next. Go check out the Team USA team, but I ain't on that.
All right. So before we go home, though, Pat, Bulls, 7 games left in the season. Things are getting tight in the East. Like at the beginning of today, Boston was the number 1 seed. They're back down to the number 4 seed. Yeah. At this point, to you, is it even worth doing any type of conversation about, like, do we just need to see the Bulls get as many wins as possible? Is there still anything about matchups that we should be having conversations about? Where do you sit with the Bulls finishing out the season? Anybody who's worried about the matchups, the things, anything like that, where do you currently sit at it on it right now?
If you can't beat the Knicks, who am I to assume you're going to beat whatever team's going to play you in the playoffs?
Well, shit. Okay.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you can't beat the Knicks, who am I to assume that you're going to be able to beat? I mean, I guess the Cavs, we keep beating them.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, do you feel confident in any matchup that's in the playoffs right now?
Oh no, like I've said before, I've said this many times. Like the Bulls can lose. I've said it to you at the beginning of the season. It was like the Bulls have a fighter's chance to get against anybody. Now it's the Bulls can lose against anybody at any point in time on any given day. So at this, I just want to see the Bulls figure it out, man. We got positive news about Lonzo today. We didn't get into that yet, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the play on the court, I just want to see the Bulls play well, man. I want to see them figure it out. I want to see them play intensity on both sides, focus on both sides of the ball. Let all the other stuff, the seeding, all that, let that work figure itself out, man. You can't, that's not in your control anymore. Let it figure itself out. Everything else is just kind of is what it is at this point, brother.
This sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I may seriously have to title this episode "It Is What It Is," like, because I don't know what else to say to anything
this sucks,
anymore.
Oh man, let's get up out of here, bro.
All right, man. You guys can follow us collectively at Locked On Bulls on every social media platform we're on. Pat has been getting the Instagram popping. I've been trying to hold down the Twitter. We're gonna get it more popping as we continue to go on. Listen, it's been a depressing time as Bulls fans. You can follow. Go ahead, Pat. I'll let you tell them where they can follow you at on social.
Hey, follow me at Pat the Designer on everything. PATTHEDESIGNER. Yes, I did go to public school, but they taught me how to spell.
You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEO Haize. Somebody asked what's the Lonzo news, so I don't want to leave y'all hanging. I'll say this real quick. We'll probably go back into detail on it on tomorrow's episode. But so Lonzo is going to be reevaluated 7 to 10 days. He's doing some light lifting, things like that. They're going to see how his body responds. Billy Donovan said that he is fighting and really wants to come back for this team this year. So we'll see what that does. But he's doing everything that he can to come back. So we may get Lonzo coming back as early as next week. Today marked the 7-day mark. So they say between the 7 and 10 day mark, that means a couple more days they're really going to figure out what's going on with Lonzo Ball. So that's it. That's the quick update on that. We'll break it down on what that means more. Probably get more news too between now and the next episode. But that's it for us for tonight, man. We're out. We love you guys, man. Stay up, Bulls fans. Keep your positive energy going as much as you can. But we got to get up out of here, man, because I got to go.
Stay safe out there.
All right, peace.